And welcome back to another episode of Big Movie Mouth Off, filmed at Broovy Cinema Pub, our home away from home.
I live here.
Yeah, I'm Jeff Weiss with MSN Entertainment.
And I'm Jimmy Martin with Slug Magazine. You can find Big Movie Mouth Off on Xfinity Channel 6, also on their on-demand system on Channel 1, Utah On Demand, Salt Lake Alternative, Big Movie Mouth Off on that little folder right there. It's got films from maybe a little while ago if you missed them, probably Blu-ray and DVD releases out now, or 3 theatrical releases like this one.
Kick-Ass 2.
Whoa, language.
I know.
Language.
The surprisingly theatrical sequel to Kick-Ass, based on the comic series by Mark Miller and John Romita Jr., which follows a teenager who wants to be a crime fighter, but he doesn't have any superpowers. His name's Dave Lazowski. His superhero identity, Kick-Ass.
Whoa, that language.
I know.
All right, keep going.
By the end of the last film, spoiler alert, he learned how to be a better superhero with help from a diminutive, butt-kicking sword slicer.
Foul mouth. Don't forget foul mouth.
Foul-mouthed hit girl, played by Chloe Moretz. They both return in this sequel, which sees Dave Lazowski sort of getting back into the business, Hit Girl sort of training him up to be a better superhero, them being joined by superheroes fighting crime, all the while supervillain plots their demise. He's played by Christopher Mintz-Plasse, who you might remember from the first film. Jimmy, I have to confess something. Not the biggest fan of the Kick-Ass comics,
Okay.
or the first movie, which was directed by Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah.
However, I could see why people would go along with its cheese, over the top, sometimes foul, often really foul, sometimes really bloody and gory violence, and cartoonishness. Matthew Vaughn's not back for the sequel.
No, he didn't
Jeff
come back.
Wadlow, screenwriter, director. Jeff Wadlow. I have seen Matthew Vaughn films, and you, Jeff Wadlow, are no Matthew Vaughn.
Oh, take your tampon out, Dave.
They may wear costumes, but it isn't Halloween. They're real-life superheroes.
Me and Hit Girl were training every day. And there were more and more people joining us every night.
Colonel Stars and Stripes reporting for duty.
We try to have fun. Otherwise, what's the point?
A world full of superheroes, huh? Where do they get a load of me? I am gonna make Kick-Ass pay for what he did to my dad. I'm building an evil army. Who is this guy? He's claiming to be the world's first real supervillain.
We're putting an end to this costume freak. If they're wearing a mask, they're getting detained.
Promise me that you will never dress up in that outfit again.
My daddy made me promise I'd never stop defending this city. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
We gotta make this right.
The anticipation's killing me.
What's the burning?
There's no room for punks in suits. Just real heroes who can really kick ass.
Who the hell are you?
We're the good guys.
They're the dead guys.
Franz, wieder.
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah, there's a dog on your butt. Well, I agree with you, it is no Matthew Vaughn film. I actually like this film better than the first one. And here's why. Because I think for me, I'm actually really getting tired of the origin story. I'm tired of films, and I know you have to do it when it's the first one in the franchise, I understand.
Okay.
But when you waste so much time
Telling
with-
somebody's story.
to get you in the suit and go, I'm more enjoying the let's hit the ground running, let's get into the action, let's get to the fight scenes, but also let's delve into deeper of what it means to become a superhero. You know, what are the repercussions and the consequences of, and especially in this story here where it is supposed to be a real life superhero, you know, where he doesn't have Bruce Wayne money, he doesn't have, you know, Peter Parker's powers, he's just a
Right.
kid with basically 2 batons running around in the green suit like
And
an
good
idiot.
hair.
Good hair.
Aaron Johnson.
And abs. And so I'm more fascinated with that And the reason I like this film more, and it's not even so much with the directing wise, or maybe it is because but it's the director's job to pull out a performance. I know it's a lot harder to work with a child actress like Chloe Moretz when she's 12 years old or 11 years old when she did the first one.
Right.
And now I'm liking her more, not so much as a novelty, as a little girl who's going into a room and screaming at a bunch of 30-year-olds and going, oh, that's adorable because she's 4 feet tall. Now she's basically developing into a well-developed actress, and I'm appreciating her skills because she is a very good actress, and she's only getting better. And so that's where I can appreciate that fact too. I think the action scenes are a little bit better choreographed, and so that's where I have with that. Now, I think Vaughn's a little bit more grounded in the sense, but also the sequel does have Jim Carrey in it, who I want to hate in this film for what he said publicly outside the screen, but you gotta turn it off, and he's really good at it in my opinion.
See, I think we're really going to disagree
All right,
on this
then.
one.
That's fine.
Nicolas Cage doing his Adam West
Sure.
in the first film works for me. Jim Carrey walks in, and I saw him in the trailer and went, he looks like he's good in this. He's just being Jim Carrey with a smug smile under a
disagree
superhero
completely.
costume. And
You thinking it's Ace Ventura walking around?
I do.
Wow, okay.
And you know what I really didn't need more of? Christopher Mintz-Plasse getting more screen time.
Okay.
And oh my God, he is awful. I thought Christopher Mintz-Plasse, after the to-do list, had sort of found a middle ground between McLovin and performance.
Yeah.
Out the window.
See, and
out the window.
Here's where I'll disagree with that, because I am not the biggest Christopher Mintz-Plasse fan by any means of the definition. But when I saw him when he's Red Mist in the first one,
Right.
he's an idiot. He's treated like an idiot, and then, spoiler alert for the first one, his father dies, so he becomes the heir to the throne and takes over. And at the end of the first one, he's like, wait till they get a load of me, like all serious. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to take him serious as a villain. Here comes the second part. So he is now king of the castle, and soon
King of the
realizes
castle. King of the castle.
soon realizes he is not a villain. He is an idiot, and so he has to hire other people to become his villain. He says, my special power is money. I can buy people off, and that's where I appreciated it, because he's not intimidating. He comes across like an idiot, and everybody in that film around him treats him like an idiot. So that's where I can appreciate that, because I don't think that they're trying to take him seriously at all. So I think they got the right actor to be like, yeah, you're not great and you come off like a dumbass. We're just going to treat you that way through the whole film. And that's where I appreciated that.
See his fingernails on the chalkboard for me. Fingernails on the chalkboard.
I'm not saying he's not annoying.
Oh, no, no.
But you're acknowledging that, and so is the film. So that's where I can run with it.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, but his performance in that regard is pathetic.
But I think he's supposed to come across as pathetic. I think that's what the character demands.
He's gone steps back as a performer.
Well, how many steps forward did he really go?
Baby steps. But as what about Bob teaches us, baby steps are a big thing. I was really, again, not a fan of the first one.
Yeah.
Had some hopes for this. Dashed.
Yeah?
Dashed. I hate to say it, but I despise this film. Despise. It's 1 star, Jimmy.
Oh, wow.
1 star.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest difference in a long time, you and me, because here's the other thing that I appreciate about this film, and I've had a discussion with friends, is that, you get all these Marvel and DC fans clamoring for a female superhero film. This is it. This is what you get. It's disguised as a kick-ass film, and it's not.
And by the way, let me make this distinction clear. While it's called Kick-Ass 2, most of the material here is actually drawn from the Hit Girl miniseries by Mark Miller and John Romita Jr.
It has to be called Kick-Ass 2 because that's the franchise, and we all know that sequels do better than the originals usually, and so. But this is a Hit Girl-centric film. This is, if you want to balance it out, I'd say it's 60 to 70% Hit Girl, and the rest is all Kick-Ass. There are times where he doesn't show up for quite a while. And I appreciated that. I was like, if you want a female superhero, this is where you start. This is your launching pad. And then if you want to make a Wonder Woman film, you want to make a Miss Marvel film, go for it. But look at this, and this is how you do it. So.
But you might not want to do it R-rated.
Don't do it R-rated, because you'll immediately lose millions of dollars. But I think it's a good jumping point to start with. So you gave it 1. I'm giving it 3. because I had a great time with it.
Yeah.
And I really do. I think I liked it more than the first one. So it's been a little while since I've seen it. The first one, I always got that jetpack in my mind. The jetpack just pissed me off. I don't know why, but it did.
That was an addition from the movie. That's not in the comics.
Well, usually
spoiler alert.
It doesn't happen often, but we disagree
hugely.
So 1 star from Vice, 3 stars from me. Go check it out. See what you think about it, and let us know what you think. Somehow find us, and we'll yell at each other for that too. That'll do it for this episode of Big Movie Mouth Off. We'll be here, Ruby Cinema Pub. Vice's mattress is right below this table. We'll be here, and we'll see you next time.